Here's Kareem, outlet to Worthy. Rambis. Cooper and the Celtics, and now the bench is empty. And McGee has to be restrained, and Cooper shoves tight. Kareem swings the elbow, and now is yelling at Larry Bird. Jaw to jaw. And they better pull him apart.
The 1984 NBA Finals was the series that defined an entire generation because this is the first time that Larry Bird and Magic Johnson faced each other in the finals, and the hatred between the Lakers and the Celtics had been building for the last 5 years.
And we all know how much we hated them and they hated us.
I hate Larry Bird.
I hated him. I hated Larry. It just went like that. There's no other word to really use.
What I hated about the Lakers, just the way they walked into a building, man. It's like they wanted to think that they were better than us. And that, I think, created that much more animosity.
And then you got that arrogant, cocky Larry Bird trash talking all the time.
And was he really arrogant? Was he really, really arrogant?
Well, yeah, he could back it up. So when you're arrogant and you can back it up, you're not arrogant, you're just good. And Larry was good.
The things he would say to you would stick there. I mean, if it was just a simple "Coop, I'm wear you out this play," or face, but he scored 2 points and in your face. You know, he didn't have to go the extra 2 words in your. He just say face.
Larry Bird, to me, it was so much fun playing against him because he talked so much shit. He hit you with, you jump high, but you don't jump that high. You can't get this. He hit you with, listen, guys, don't worry about the play. I'm going to go right over here, catch it, and shoot it in y'all face. Ain't a damn thing y'all can do about it.
And he did it.
Mm-hmm. And I remember talking about, he talked a whole lot of shit, but I guess it ain't shit talking if you backing it up.
Yeah, I'm just talking.
He was backing it up.
But before Larry Bird could trash talk the Lakers, he had to trash talk his own teammates for how badly they played in Game 3 of the 1984 NBA Finals.
The 84 Finals provided us with so much fodder because it was anticipated. It was 5 years in before Larry and Magic finally had a direct confrontation.
You know, we were the favorites and we made our way. They won the East, we won the West. So it's like everybody just get ready, sit back, and let's enjoy it.
And the way that series unfolded, the Lakers carry them, bury them in Boston Game 1, and the Celtics and only pull out Game 2 with Gerald Henderson makes the great steal that saved the game.
It's 113 to 111.
Well, they're going to try and make a steal here, and they got their best defensive team in there right now.
And it goes quickly in now to Magic. Back over to Worthy, and it's picked off. Goes to Henderson, he lays it off and in. It's all tied up. A great play by Henderson.
All we got to do is get the ball across the timeline and the game is over. And so I throw it to James Worthy.
You know, I remember standing on the sidelines at the time and seeing what Worthy was about ready to do and see the Boston defender anticipating that, thinking, no, please don't throw that pass.
And it goes quickly in now to Magic. Back over to Worthy, and it's picked off. Goes to Henderson, he lays it off and in. It's all tied up. A great play by Henderson.
We just went into shock. We were in disbelief, and we played like that afterwards.
Magic has still got it down to 2 seconds. 1 second. He's going to have to shoot it. He doesn't get it off. He doesn't get it off.
We never really recovered from that, and they end up winning that game.
And we're going to go to Los Angeles, all even at 1 game apiece.
For a minute there, I could hear Johnny Moose going, Henderson steals the ball.
They get destroyed in Game 3.
And here's the LA break. Cooper and Magic Johnson. The Los Angeles Lakers look like nothing could stop them. The Celtics cannot handle the speed of the Lakers.
That's when Larry came up with the "We need 12 heart transplants," and we played like sissies, quote unquote.
This has to be one of the most decisive routes in championship game history.
We went in the locker room and Larry made the famous statement that we played like sissies.
Bird called his teammates sissies, challenged the entire squad.
We got some great players on this team, but we don't have the players with the heart sometimes that we need. Today, when you see Magic slapping high fives and guys going behind their back and shooting layups on us all day long, it seems that somebody would try to put a stop to it. But until we get our hearts where they belong, we're in trouble.
But little did Larry know that his little pep talk would turn Game 4 into the most intense, physical, and hard-fought game in NBA playoff history, because it got ugly.
The tip controlled by Boston. Going right to the hoop is Cedric Maxwell, and he's fouled. First period, Robert Parrish, who has gone inside, misses outside, but there's Larry Bird with the offensive rebound. Anderson is short with it. Cooper getting the break to Johnson. To Rambis. Ball in the Celtics. Parrish is blocked by Kareem. Bird gets the layup. Boy, how he knifes his way in.
In practice, we said that day that the physicality was going to be ramped up. They wanted to play a pretty game, and damn it, we were going to make it an ugly game.
Now Kareem with McHale guarding, feeds Cooper.
The Celtics just have not been able to pick up that cut.
Larry Bird backed up Michael Cooper into the photographer's lane as he got the inbounds pass. 37 steal by James Worthy. And the Lakers open it up again to 11 points. And Casey Jones wants a timeout.
In that game, we said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to be so physical that we're going to stop letting the Lakers have layups. We're going to take that away.
The comment was, this dunk fest is embarrassing. We got to take somebody out.
ML was working on Kevin, and the whole time and saying, boy, if I was in that game, I'd go in there and I'd just do something. Kevin's like, yeah. Like one of those, yeah. I'll do it.
Johnson is short with it. Here's Kareem, outlet to Worthy. Rambis. And now let's watch it. Cooper and the Celtics, and now the bench is empty. He was decked by two Celtics and hit the floor hard, and both benches have emptied. And you knew this was going to happen. You could see it coming.
Tell us all, when he clotheslined you like that, what was on your mind?
Well, first of all, it was survival. I mean, because the last thing I kind of saw
was your feet in the air.
It was my foot. It looked like it almost hit the rim.
Yeah.
So I'm coming down. So I got up and I saw Kevin McHale, and I'm just going to go run and jump and throw a fist as hard as I can. Just wring his neck out there, do whatever I could to get back at him. Because it's not a basketball play.
Right.
It was an unfortunate incident. It was just a case of two people running in opposite directions, and I reached out to grab him like this, and he was running so doggone fast that my arm just kept going. I couldn't get my other hand around him to grab him. I did try to grab him. I've stated this before. If there's anybody on that team I wouldn't want to hurt, it's Kurt.
You see it, I saw it, in my mind that was as flagrant a foul as I've ever seen.
The funny thing about that whole episode was that I just go to the free throw line and shoot my 2 free throws, and the game goes on.
Right.
No replay, no ejections, no fines, no nothing. You just go back and play.
Yeah.
Imagine that. No instant replays, no ejections, no fines. They just settled it on the court.
Don't you love that there was a physical play in a game that is a signature play, not a slam dunk, and I love the animosity. The physicality in the NBA should be a lot more than it is at Sports Fitness Club of LA.
When you catch something, you got to knock it down, to slow it down, and that's what they did. And just all hell broke loose.
Kareem, double. Bird fights. Kareem swings the elbow, and now is yelling at Larry Bird. Jaw to jaw. And they better pull him apart.
Bird and Kareem fighting for the rebound. And Kareem hit him with an elbow, and he's upset. Now Bird over there saying, why did you hit me? And Kareem saying, listen, pal, get off my back.
Larry Bird was hit in that jaw, and I guess Kareem drew a little blood.
You would have threw Kareem out of this game. You think about it. He would have been thrown out of the game for the elbow. Kevin McHale would have been out of the game. So the new NBA, if you put this tape right now and make some of these guys watch the NBA, who are in the NBA right now, watch this, and they go, Oh my God. This was grown-ass man basketball.
And after that, Larry Bird got his revenge in one of the most iconic playoff games in NBA history. And he did it while giving the Lakers a master class in the art of trash talk.
The dude would just tell you where he's going, shoot it in your face, talk shit to you, and run back down the floor.
From outside, it's up to 4 once again with 1:34 remaining. Here's Bird, long range over Cooper, and the net didn't even tumble.
And he did that to us in the finals. He was like, guys, don't worry about it. I'm going to go right over here to the corner. I'm going to catch the ball, I'm going to shoot it, and ain't shit y'all can do about it.
Get a technical. The tip controlled by the Celtics. Here's Bird going for 3, and he has it to take this lead. McHale misses. Bird goes up and is fouled. Larry Bird is fouled. Kareem is upset. It's been a common scene tonight here in game number 4.
And basketball, to me, is a psychological game. It's a game that you get into somebody else's head. And you get into somebody else's head because you can talk them out of their game. If you're a real player, you don't let nobody talk you out of the game. You just go, okay, all right. I'll see you in about 2 minutes, brother. Don't worry about it.
Our reaction was too personal. We should have reacted as a team on the court. We tried to deal with it personally and individually, and that didn't work for us.
Magic with 7, with 6. Magic takes the ball and they throw. Magic throws it away. Look at this. 3 seconds. Intercepted by Parrish. Magic threw it right to Parrish.
Tragic Johnson's what we called him then, because he made a couple of bad plays.
35 seconds remain. We're in overtime. Tied at 123. He misses the first. Johnson misses them both. Bird the rebound, and the Celtics want a timeout.
And with the score tied up with 34 seconds to go in overtime, Larry Bird gives us one of the signature moments of his entire career.
Dennis, he told me this one story. We were playing, I guess it was in 84, 85, one of the series, but Casey Jones was drawing up a play. And Larry was kind of like watching, and then finally Larry said, hey, coach, give me the fucking ball till everybody get out the way. I love that story because that's dominance there. That's some shit only great ones say.
We're in overtime, tied at 123.
Casey drawn up the play for coming out of the huddle, and Larry turned and said, you guys want to win the game? Just give me the ball and get out of the way.
But here's Henderson with it. 18 on the shot clock. I think the Celtics will use most of the clock here. Nearly a steal by Worthy. Dennis Johnson with Cooper all over him. He can't do a thing. Bird turnaround, hits. And the Boston Celtics have even this NBA World Championship Series at 2 games apiece. And those who are writing the obituary can just pause.
Larry Bird made so many game-winning shots in his career, but hitting one over his arch nemesis Magic Johnson in Game 4 of the NBA Finals made the taste of victory that much more sweet.
One game we played the Lakers in the Forum, and we was fortunate enough to win at the end. There's a lot of fans around, and when we won games on the road, we tend to stay a little bit longer and celebrate. I was very quiet and very humble that day, and I was looking out the window, and I happened to see Irvin walking across the parking lot to his car. And I just watched him. I could see the pain on his face, the look in his eyes that he was a beaten man that day. So if my thoughts in my head, my other teammates were talking, doing their own thing, I was just watching him. I said, suffer, baby, suffer.
I tell a whole lot of people this when they talk about, great players and they bring up Larry Bird. I said, listen, the dude couldn't jump, wasn't fast, wasn't athletic.
Mm-hmm.
But you look on the score, the score sheet after the game, he got 25, 15 rebounds, 9 assists, a few steals. I said, the dude just knew how to play. He was just one of those guys that he just had it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he had it, and I saw it in college, and obviously saw it a whole lot closer when we get a chance to play against the Celtics. He was the biggest trash talker back in the day, but he would back it up.
And as the Celtics and Lakers were tied 2-2 going into Game 5, an unexpected heat wave came down in the city of Boston. And with no air conditioning inside the Boston Garden, the entire arena turned into an oven. And Game 5 transformed from a simple test of basketball skill to an extreme test of mental toughness in the hottest game ever recorded.
It's Game 5 of the NBA World Championship Series. And Celtic fans now are entering the hottest place in this city, literally. There is no air conditioning in this ancient building. And down there on that familiar parquet floor, temperatures will reach more than 100 degrees.
So we arrived at Logan Airport at 5 p.m., and it was a heat wave in Boston. And the scene at Logan was chaotic. Terminal C, I will never forget it.
The Celtics have oxygen close by inside their locker room, and they came out for their pregame warm-up without sweatpants tonight.
It looked like a scene right out of a movie, and it is 97 degrees Fahrenheit in the unair-conditioned Boston Garden. The crowd is unlike any crowd I have ever seen before or since in the Garden. Never were fewer clothes worn by people in the Garden than that night. Women halter tops, everybody in shorts, t-shirts. And the crowd knew they could make this a happening. The crowd made that a positive thing for the Boston Celtics. They embraced it and they plugged into it.
Ordered a couple of air conditioning things to try to cool off the locker room, portable ones, plugged them in, blew the circuits in Boston Garden.
So now it's already 100 degrees. They got the heat turned up. Ooh, you thought you was in this, a sauna.
Did you realize that they even accused Red Auerbach of turning on the heat in the building? They didn't realize that we didn't have the fancy arena. The Garden didn't have air conditioning like some of the other places. They didn't turn on the heat. The reality of it is, it was just one of those hot summer days. It was in June. It was unbelievable.
And the temperature, as Brent said, will get over 100. It's close to 95 right now. Bird, great position for Larry Bird as he backed Cooper inside.
Came right over the top for an excellent rebound.
Bird. And once again, Larry Bird used his muscle against Cooper inside, as we pointed out. Here's Harris. Bird, the rebound. Now Magic Johnson wants a timeout. Standing ovation here at the Garden for the Celtics. And what a game we have.
Well, the Boston crowd is just, it's just a fun crowd. I mean, they're really close in the old Boston Garden, so it feels like they're right on top of you. There's smoke up in the top balcony of the arena, and it just was an old school gym. The fans were kind of crazy and nuts, and I think there was a little bit of an intimidation factor about our crowd, and they were loud, and they wanted us to beat LA in the worst way. Like, we could not let LA come into our place and win.
Larry Bird gets an offensive rebound for the Celtics and converts.
Destroying that rhythm.
Larry Bird. You ever seen many players who can shoot off balance as a forward like Larry Bird can?
Larry Bird said, "It can get hot in June when you live in Boston. The Garden is not air conditioned, so we all knew the fifth game was going to be played in serious heat. We were prepared, and we knew we had to run. We wanted to get out running, get them sweating, and get the crowd into it early in the ball game."
Celtics have three. Bird, a three-pointer for Larry Bird. And the Celtic bench is up, and a steal by Bird. Larry Bird finds Dennis Johnson, who's open. And Pat Riley wants a timeout.
It was hot, but we didn't care because we were already so fired up. We knew the Lakers had to be miserable. They were used to playing in the air-conditioned comfort of the Forum. This just wasn't their idea of basketball.
The Lakers are dead tired right now. They're all with their hands on their hips. And for a fast break team with speed, that's not a good sign.
Meanwhile, the Lakers, last place on earth they wanted to be. They even brought an oxygen tank, which Kareem wound up sucking on during the game.
And with Kareem taking that oxygen, it's just like, okay, we got him now.
Kareem said, "I suggest that you go to a local steam bath, do 100 push-ups with all your clothes on, then try to run back and forth for 48 minutes. The game was in slow motion. It was like we were running in the mud."
You didn't feel like you were breathing air. It was like you were breathing something, but it wasn't having any effect in your lungs.
The game started over 97 degrees here at Boston Garden inside, and I'm sure that's been raised a few degrees. It is hot and steamy. It's a sauna bath here at Boston Garden.
It was so hot, referee Hugh Evans had to stop at halftime due to dehydration.
Dick, of course, you've been talking about the heat all night. It's up in the upper 90s there. Hugh Evans just got completely dehydrated. He was taken out of the game. The doctors are giving him a lot of fluids, and they got ice on him. He doesn't know if he'll be back in. Back to you, Dick.
Who's out there acting like there's nothing wrong with this at all? Larry Bird.
Larry Bird said, "I love to play in the heat. I just run faster and create my own wind."
6-point lead in the first period. The Celtics move down to 8, and this basket counts. Larry Bird gets the basket. He has 10 points and will have a chance for a three-point play. Series is tied 2 games apiece. This is game number 5. And Larry Bird is 8 for 11, and he's red hot, and he has 18 points in the ballgame.
The thing about Larry was that he saw things, everything that came along, he saw that as a challenge. He wasn't afraid whether it was heat or whether it was cold. It doesn't matter. Larry was never going to allow himself to make an excuse for whatever came up. We can fast forward to the time when he had, his hurt, his back was out later on, and he couldn't succumb to that. So in a game 5 like this, it was hard as it could be. Larry was on fire. He was doing everything. He was not going to let the city of Boston down, because he looked at it more than just the Celtics. He looked at this city is pulling for us like you won't believe, and we can't let them down. And so Larry was doing everything he can, including the leadership that he was showing, to make sure that we got out of there with a game win.
How about Larry Bird, who has 25 points and is 11 for 14 shooting, and then trailing in game number 5 as Kareem made 1 out of 2. Larry Bird with a three-point play. His second of the ball game.
But I just remember fanning the guys and trying to keep them cool on the bench when they would come off. And it was just unbelievable. You can't redo that. Mentally, it took you to another level.
Haynes finds an open Bird, takes Rambis. 1 second, it counts.
We were used to the Boston Garden. Obviously, it had never been as hot as it was that night, and especially with all the fans in there. But listen, we've all played outside in 100-degree temperatures and humidity, and it's a game 5. I don't think it really bothered us at all. I know there was a lot of talk about it and a lot of hype on television about it, but we didn't really talk much about it or even think that much about it.
Bird.
Larry Bird said, "I play in this stuff all the time back home. It's like this all summer."
17 rebounds for Larry Bird, and he's shooting outside now. It's off when they were down 2 games to 1, but they didn't. The basket by Bird is good, and there's a foul.
Larry Bird that night went for 34 points, 17 rebounds, 15 for 20 from the floor, and the Celtics won 121-103 in the pivotal 5th game to take charge of the series. And it was absolutely one of the 3 or 4 biggest and best and most memorable nights of the entire Larry Bird career, frankly.
And the Boston Celtics have, in resounding fashion, with a big second half, have trounced the Los Angeles Lakers 121-103 to take a 3-2 lead in the World Championship Series. And we'll be back to Boston Garden in just a moment.
And after the game, Larry said, hell, back home in Indiana, I play like this all the time. Well, okay, good. But the fact is, it was not what the Lakers had in mind. It absolutely ranks as one of the great nights in history to Boston Garden.
And the Boston Celtics have trounced the Los Angeles Lakers 121.
We had given away a couple of games. We had missed free throws. The choke label started to come out. I think they were in our heads at that time, and they sort of had our number as we really got into a retaliatory type of mentality.
Maxwell is pushed and knocked away by Woden. And now the Lakers are giving the Celtics a dose of their own medicine.
Even though we got Game 6, I didn't feel good about where we were. As a coach, even though you're going into Game 7 with great players, you just didn't have that kind of feeling.
Well, I thought we'd sweep them in 4, but it's went a little bit longer. Now we just have to do it in 7.
The Boston Celtics have never lost the 7th game for a title, and the Los Angeles Lakers have never won. And with that backdrop and the duels between Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and of course Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, we get set. The championship is at stake.
Or they think they can do everything.
Bird going in. Off the mark. Lakers had several chances, and here's Larry Bird chugging down the court.
Celtic coach. And it'll be the first time that a first-year Celtic coach has ever won a championship.
We knew we were getting beat, and with about 4 or 5 minutes to go, we weren't going to come back, and the celebration started, and that's not a very good place to be when you're getting beat, by the Celtics in the 7th game.
You get frustrated when you know that you're a better team, especially with Larry beating me. That stuck with me for a long time.
The Boston Celtics are the NBA World Champions in a grueling 7-game series with the Los Angeles Lakers.
I hope they spend the rest of their life thinking that they should have beaten us. I hope it's aggravating Kareem and Magic right now.
The Celtics won that series, which was Larry Bird's 2nd championship in 5 years. And at that moment, Magic Johnson understood who was really the best basketball player in the sport.
Will have been on winning teams in 6 of those 7 years. Is Larry Bird, in your mind, the greatest player in the game today?
Well, no question he's the best playing right now. He does so many things. He shoots inside, he shoots outside. He can pass, he can rebound. And I think people misunderstand Larry because his awareness and smarts of the game is what makes him, not everything else that he does, but his just as smart of the game, knowing what to do at what time of the game.
And as far as Kareem is concerned, it's safe to say that he learned his lesson, because after that, he never disrespected Larry Bird ever again.
Who was the best player you played against?
The best guy I played against might have been, Larry Bird. The chubby white guy, he wore us out, man. Because this muscle here, the one between his ears, that was his best, because he made the 3-pointers and he had assists and rebounded, steals. He was always at the right place at the right time on the court. One of the great players, I had the opportunity to play against.